Are you ready?
Get that stuff out of here. It's Southwest Bias.
Happy Friday. It's Southwest Bias, brought to you by our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. And hey, join the Cardinals guys out there Sunday for a watch-along, a watch party, watching the Cardinals at 49ers. Plus, we are live here from Studio K. You can see it right there on the sign above me. Brought to you by our friends at Circle K. Become a member of the Inner Circle. And you know it. It is a football Friday. We are talking Cardinals. We are talking 49ers. And we got into a lot over this week about the Cardinals offense and what they need to do. But this is the game that we see if Drew Petizing can actually adjust his game plan. Let me throw a few stats at you. Since 1970, teams that go 2-0 have a 64.2% chance of making the playoffs. Now, the Cardinals have missed it 10 times after starting 2-0 and 4 times since they've been in Arizona. But if the Cardinals go 3-0 on Sunday out there in Northern California, their chances improve to 74%. And the Cardinals have only missed the playoffs 3 times when they started 3-0 and only once in Arizona, that 2012 year, the Kevin Cobb concussion year when they started 4-0. So it is imperative that they get this win this weekend. It's not make or break, but it certainly makes your path to the playoffs much easier than it usually is. And, you know, I'm looking at this, and I think the key to accomplishing this is the running game. Now, I know I've hammered the passing game hard. I've said they've got to get MHJ the football, and I still believe that. I still believe that Drew Petizing has to get his passing game up to snuff. But the running game is something that has been a staple of this team. And looking at the stats, last year they had one of the best team rushing success rates in the entire NFL. In fact, I believe it was 9th best overall last season. They're 31st so far this season with a 34.7% success rate, aka it ain't successful. And part of that is because they've been running a gap scheme primarily. Now, I'm not going to talk about putting the knuckles in the dirt, brothers, and all that about the run scheme, but they've been running it at an 88% pace. They had the highest pace of running gap scheme runs last year at 69%. They're up to 88%. Defensives have figured out the way that Drew Petizing wants to run the football. And guess what? When your opponent figures out what you're doing, it's time to change what you're doing and how you're doing it. That's the sign of a good coordinator. That's the sign of somebody that knows how to coach a damn game. That's the reality of it. And that's what Drew Petizing has to do this weekend. He has to figure out how he can adjust his scheme to improve that running game. Now, I'm a little worried, though. Earlier this week, he had this to say, Shane, if we have that graphic, the quote graphic on it, and if not, that's fine. He said, in a lot of ways, I think we need to stay the course. He goes on to say guys have to make the right blocks and do the little things. Staying the course isn't the answer. You can't keep doing this 88% of your runs. It's not successful. The numbers are proving it. You need to adjust. That is going to be the key for this weekend against the 49ers, and it's going to be the key for the rest of the year. Adjust running game. Adjust the passing game. No, nobody should be that entrenched in what they do in a specific way if it does not work. Get to 3-0. Make that happen by making those changes. but maybe that's just my Southwest bias. We welcome in the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach. Just a voice today.
Yeah, just a voice.
No sun today, and that's fine.
No, the sun isn't out. Well, one, it's overcast, and two, I'm hungover because I was at a wedding last night.
Yeah, nobody needs a bright light in their face when they're hungover. I hope the wedding went well. It's not yours, so I won't say congratulations to you. But I appreciate you getting back here and being in the seat. But you think the Cardinals can run the ball this weekend?
I would hope so. I mean, you have to get your identity back, but also, what do fans want? Like, do the fans want to see the run game fixed, or do they want to see Petzing just completely turn and be a guy he's not? Because that's what it sounds like everyone wants to see.
Well, look, I need to see adjustments. You can't keep running the ball the same way. You can't keep doing the same thing in the passing game. I'm not saying blow up your entire offense and all of a sudden become the greatest show on turf and throw out some of your beliefs. You don't have to be Mike Martz. I need you to be a little bit different, to adjust. Teams have a lot of film on you now. Teams have figured out a lot of things, not just this year, but going back to last year. Just adjust. That's what I need to see. Get MHJ more targets. Change the way you're running the ball a little bit. Give your guys more of an opportunity. And you should be able to take care of this. We've talked about the defense, and apparently outside of the guys that were placed on IR, nobody is ruled out for Sunday. So maybe that defensive backfield won't be as decimated as we thought. Maybe Will Johnson and Max Melton will go, but change up things a little bit, Drew Petizing. Like, I'm not saying this is your make or break. I'm not saying this is going to be your defining moment if you don't do it here in Arizona, but 3-0 means something, and you got to figure it out. So something we started in week one that I want to bring up as we continue a little bit of football talk here. It's a segment I'm calling Espo versus the Tank. It's me versus Frank Kaminsky making picks in the NFL. And I got to tell you, I'm kicking Frank's ass right now, very much like he did to U of A in his time at Wisconsin. I'm dominating him right now. I am getting revenge for my alma mater against the Hall of Fame Wisconsin Badger. Right now, I lead. I have a 4-0 record, 4-0. Frank is 1-3 after week one. Skipped week two. We're here for week three, and these are the games we're picking. Cardinals at 49ers, Cowboys at Bears because Frank is a Bears fan, Lions at Ravens, and Broncos at Chargers. And here's who I got. I got the Cardinals. I got the Cowboys. I got the Lions, and I got the Chargers. I'm smelling 8-0. Frank's got the 49ers, the Bears, the Ravens, and the Chargers. I'm spelling 1-7. Frank, I'm sorry, brother, but when you come on here to talk football like we're planning on doing soon, I think you're being a big hole. Because you claim you're a football expert. You tell me you know everything about football. But I think you're drowning in Kaminsky Cove right now when it comes to your picks. And I might be that lifesaver, that lifeguard that has to come out and help you. Because I'm dominating you right now. And after our second week of picks, I think I'm going to dominate you once again. A big shout out to the biased in the chat. Hello, Vic. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Math to the Power of Joe, Traquan, McHurdles, and everybody joining us in there. Hit that like button. If you're not already a member of the Subscribers Club, I highly recommend it because you can get that Johnny half chugging, half sipping a beer emoji, the live, the hold the line. You've got Shazam. You've got light the cactus. You've got all sorts of things. And I heard from a little birdie, maybe from me, then we might be getting an ahoy hoy one. So you can throw all those in the chat. Hit me right now with a live because our friend Johnny Venerable will be joining us shortly. Or actually, hit me with the chug right now. We'll hit me with the live when Johnny joins us in just a few moments. But we got to go to our Did the Mets Crap the Bed update desk right now. And Shane, do we have the latest? Did the Mets crap the bed? No, they did not crap the bed yesterday. They defeated the San Diego Padres 6-1, and they play the lowly Washington Nationals this weekend, which has me slightly concerned because the Diamondbacks are sitting a full 2 games back of the Mets right now. They play the Phillies this weekend, and if you actually want this Diamondbacks team to sneak in, they're going to need a lot of help But luckily, the New York Mets know how to help everybody usually in these kind of situations. They let him back in, and we all know, don't give the snakes life because they just might bite you. We'll find out after this weekend. And it is a Friday, so it is time to hit you with our winners of the week. I got to remind you, we go bronze, silver, and copper because we are in Arizona. And we don't give out gold. We give out copper because that's the precious metal that this state is known for. And it's our winners of the week. First, and I'm going to have Shane play a video while I give you this. The bronze is going to be Devin Booker this week. He brings the I'm not giving you any free feet pics energy this week as he posted a video of him working out this summer recently with his shoes blurred out. The assumption is those are the book twos, or he just doesn't really like the shoes he's wearing. I don't know, but it struck me as funny because nothing screams the internet like blurring out your feet. Devin Booker doesn't want that OnlyFans energy in here with his feet. So he gets the bronze this week. The silver going to your Phoenix Mercury. Their backs were against the wall. They had to travel from Phoenix to New York City, down 1-0 in a best-of-3 series. People thought this might be it. The fun run might be over. And the Mercury said, hell no. They said, hell no. Kalia Copper, Satu Sabali, Alyssa Thomas, they all stepped up. And guess what the Mercury did? They got the biggest win in an elimination game in WNBA history. 26-point victory in New York. They take the court tonight at PHNX Arena. And we full well, as we heard Satu Sabali talk about yesterday, expect the X Factor to come out with that fire tonight and lift that team even higher than we expected. But the copper this week, the copper has to go to the New York Mets, who have done more for the spirit of this town than anybody else, who made baseball interesting for us, who sat there and decided, you know what? We're going to Mets in the biggest way possible. We're going to crap the bed so hard that we're going to let the Diamondbacks right back into this after they had no pulse at the beginning of August. This team has the opportunity to do something special as long as the Mets continue to do what they're doing. I will never be a bigger Washington Nationals fan than I am this weekend. I will never root harder against Philadelphia than I will this weekend. We got to keep it going, and I want to see the Diamondbacks be right at that third wild card spot after this weekend ends, and the Mercury heading to Minnesota for game one of those semifinals. That is your winners of the week. Congratulations to Devin Booker, the Phoenix Mercury, and the New York Mets. We appreciate each and every one of you. I told you, our sweet boy, Johnny Venerable, is going to be joining us after the break. That's next on Southwest Bias. Telling you about my friends at Circle K. They fuel me. I got Coke Zero right here from them from this morning. Thank you, Circle K. I also needed gas in my car, and I saved because I am a member of the Inner Circle. And I've told you about this so many times, I don't know what else to do. If you are not a member of the Inner Circle, I don't know what you're doing. I think you need to figure out some things in your life if you're not a member of the Inner Circle, because it's free. When you sign up, you're saving 25 cents off per gallon your first 5 fill-ups. And gas is getting expensive again, right? So you want to save that money. And next week, I believe it's the 25th, being a member of the Inner Circle, you're going to save 40 cents off per gallon that day. So why wouldn't you do this? 3 cents off per gallon after your first 5 fill-ups. Then you're going to hit that 5 cent level and save that per gallon. It's free money for signing up for nothing. It's the best investment you're going to get. You're make money for nothing. 79 cents Polar Pops, 99 cent Frosters, 3 for $5, 28-ounce Gatorades. Why wouldn't you do it today? Become a member of the Inner Circle by downloading that Circle K app. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. And talking about our friends at Mountain America Credit Union. You know them. You love them. You love their style because they want you to make MyStyle, your lifestyle, by getting that MyStyle checking account. Now, nobody wants MyStyle. A quarter zip and a hat isn't exactly probably the look you want to go for. But if you want style when it comes to your checking account, the MyStyle checking account from Mountain America Credit Union has got you covered because they got deals on deals on deals. They got restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, loan rate discounts. And I told you, it's hard out there, right? We know it's hard out there right now. So why not get some loan rate discounts? Help you get you in that home or start that business that you've always wanted to at a lower rate. You get offers on travel and events because, let's admit it, we all could use a vacation right now with everything and so much more. So make MyStyle your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/MyStyle to apply. Insured by NCUA. Membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no cost for registration and activation. Terms and conditions and exclusions apply like everything in life. Hit that live emoji if you're a Supporters Club member. And if you're not, hit that join button. Become a Supporters Club member because Johnny Venerable, JV, joining us live from his house. It's Johnny Venerable. JV, how are you, my guy?
What's up? Happy Friday, Espo.
Happy Friday. I'm over caffeinated, looking forward to the weekend and looking forward to football, my friend. How worried are you about the defensive backfield depth right now?
Not. Max Melton's going to play. Will Johnson, Jonathan Gannon said earlier today, he's not ruling anybody out, but Will Johnson in practice this week. He ain't playing. But I think just some gamesmanship, just like San Francisco with Mac Jones and Brock Purdy. I expect Mac Jones to play. If you can't beat Mac Jones with Max Melton and this defense, like, you got bigger problems. So welcome to the NFL. Everybody's got injuries. This team in particular, the Niners, they don't have their quarterback, their tight end, potentially their number 1 and 2 receiver. Like, they got, I mean, like, give them credit. I don't love the Niner faithful. I hate their fan base, but they've done a nice job overcoming obstacles. It's time for the Cardinals to do the same. Like, this is a must win, in my opinion.
I mean, we were talking about it to open the show. 3-0 gives you a 74% chance to make the playoffs. I mean, that's statistically how it goes. So I think that it's imperative to find that way this weekend to win. How much do you think the depleted defensive backfield is going to impact that pass rush? Because I think it's been better than we thought, on eye test when you look at some of the stats. But are they going to have to be less aggressive because now they don't have as much help in that defensive backfield?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're going to have to blitz Mac Jones. I would have done that anyway. The Cardinals are one of the least, blitz heavy teams in the NFL, and they want to be able to win with 4. That's like the dream of any defense. And they were like that even last year and in 2023 under Nick Rollis. He doesn't typically like to blitz unless he has to in the fourth quarter. I don't know. I think it's much more important for somebody like Mack Wilson Sr. and Budda Baker to be able to corral Christian McCaffrey. Depending on who you talk to, like, McCaffrey has looked good catching the football, running the football, not so much, but people in San Francisco feel like he's close. Like, in my opinion, if the Cardinals lose this game, it will be because of number 23. I don't think Mac Jones, even with no Will Johnson or Garrett Williams, is going to pick apart the Cardinals secondary. I think too highly of JG and Nick Rollis. I think the Cardinals are probably going to hold San Francisco to right around like 21 to 18 points. And again, like we talked about it, like you've talked about it all week, this is a statement game for this offense, who, by the way, has all their players, all the players that they had last year, all the players they opted to run it back this offseason with. So so many people are making this out to be like a concern because you're missing a couple corners. Like, if the offense was clicking on all cylinders, no one would bring that up. It would be a non-story, in my opinion.
Look, I want to get to the offense, and we will, because I know we both have some very passionate thoughts on that. But I got to bring up Calais Campbell because he's almost our age, Johnny. I mean, he's old is what I'm trying to say. And I say that with the utmost respect to Calais, but he's out there doing things that look kind of like the Calais that we remember from being here. How important is he? Because it feels like he might be the heartbeat of that defense. He might be the guy that can light that fire because he saved their ass last Sunday against the Panthers.
I think it was such a coup for them to have Calais come back this offseason in a move that nobody telegraphed or saw coming. He had options. Baltimore, Miami wanted to re-sign him. I'm sure he's thanking his football stars that he didn't opt to go back to South Beach given the situation there. But you get the best of both worlds. It's very similar to how my son is treating the John Cena retirement tour. It's like, oh, this is a player that we love, and we get quality production, and we get, quality engagement this last 12 months of his pro career. It's great. I love it. Here's where I'm at with it, though, Espo. Do not sit here as a Cardinal fan and hope that he can sustain this through December. Other defensive linemen have to step up. Calais is doing a hell of a job. They have reduced his practice reps. They're keeping his body fresh. You should be able to use him like a ninth inning reliever, right? You should be able to have him come in and throw a couple fastballs, but it's not a 7-game starter. Darius Robinson, we need more from you. Walter Nolan is probably 2 to 3 games away from coming back. Those two individuals in particular have to carry the weight. LJ Collier just went on IR. Dante Stills is a tremendous run defender, not great, rushing the passer. Okay, like the 2 first-round D tackles, you have until Halloween to get it together, because it's just not realistic to assume Calais can do this all season. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the complete freak show season, but I think it would be irresponsible to say, hey, Calais, can you be our best defensive lineman at 40 years old for a team that wants to make the postseason for the first time in 2021? Can you be our best player through like Thanksgiving, Christmas? Like, guys, you took 2 first-round D tackles. Those guys got to get it going.
I mean, you bring up John Cena. You're wearing the jorts right now, right?
My son has a pair specifically because of John Cena's retirement tour. So yes, jorts exist in the Venerable household.
I mean, we felt like in week 1, Josh Sweat went, "You can't see me." Didn't really show up. Week 2, he did. Vic in the chat says Josh Sweat also has to be that guy. Can he be that guy? Do you feel like last game was kind of that introduction to, hey, I'm here and I'm ready?
I thought Spencer Rattler did a great job week 1 getting the ball out quickly. That's not going to be the norm of what you see. I also, similar to Calais, I think I've said this on your show before, like Sweat has played such meaningful football deep into February. I know that's not the norm here, but it's like Sweat needed some time off. He got paid in free agency. He's 28 years old. He had a very kind of lax training camp compared to a lot of these other young players, and he deserved it. And again, I thought he was fine in week 1. He was tremendous last week. 2 TFLs, had a big-time quarterback hit that was an egregious flag at the end of the game, strip sack. Like, I think Josh Sweat and Baron Browning, who leads the team with 10 pressures, I think they're a formidable duo, and I think Zaven Collins is a run defender, and then Jordan Birch is a third-round developmental guy. Like, that group's just fine. It's exactly where you need it to be. And again, like, Trent Williams is a great player. This is not Trent Williams of like the last 2 or 3 years. I think that they can make Mac Jones uncomfortable. They've got a guard that's out. They're already kind of lukewarm in terms of how they've been able to run the football. So I expect the Cardinals to control the line of scrimmage this week on both sides.
Look, did you see the Jonathan Gannon mic'd up video watching that Kyler scramble? Have you seen that? That got me so jacked. It got me so excited to see a coach that's that excited about his guy. I mean, calling Kyler Houdini. But to me, I think you need less of that and you need more of Kyler, the guy that's hitting those downfield passes, that's playing well in the pocket. Can he do that? Can they get this passing game where it needs to be on Sunday in Northern California?
I think they want to. I don't know if they can. I'll throw a curveball. I don't know if it matters this week. I think you can run on the 49ers, and I think that that's what the Cardinals want to do. Kyler Murray has given Robert Saleh fits historically. The Niners defense in general. You remember Espo, like the 60-yard run last year in the game in Santa Clara. He put up his finger and cruised past Fred Warner, did Kyler Murray. James Conner has always given the Niners problems. Like, I think the game plan this week is to run the football. Now, their efficiency with guys like Isaiah Adams and Jonah Williams has not been great, but as Brian Baldinger said on our show, like, there is no Derek Brown D tackle. The best part of the Niners defense is on the perimeter with Nick Bosa, Mykel Williams. Fred Warner's been playing well. I don't think much of their defensive tackle play. I don't think they're any good. And I think the Cardinals want to be able to assert their will and get back to what they want to do. That doesn't mean that they can't take shots, but like last year in particular against San Francisco, like I thought Marv had a sneaky underrated game. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. and this kind of discussion point, I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't think it's going to be magically cured this weekend with a 3-touchdown game. And I still think the Cardinals are going to win. I still think they're going to be able to run the football. It just, the optics of this team in terms of like what we coincide with like a great team and what the Cardinals believe they can win with are two different things. But I think the Cardinals, their run game will return to form to some degree this weekend against the Niner team that's, let's be honest, they've been living a charmed life as of late.
Yeah, Johnny, I don't know that I agree because I thought they'd eat against the Saints and the Panthers, who were two of the worst rush defenses last year, or defenses against the run last year, and they couldn't figure it out. We've seen this run game struggle, and Drew Petizing simply just continues to call the same thing. We talked about this at the beginning of the show, and I don't know that I have the belief that they're just magically gonna fix that. Like, I feel like that's my bigger concern right now. I want to see them pass the ball more, but I need to see them run effectively, because if you're committed to the run and you can't do it well, you're gonna be screwed at this point. And what I've seen, you say the 49ers are living kind of a charmed life. The Cardinals have too, because they got blessed with playing two bottom feeders and could get away with not playing at the highest level. But this is an in-division game. We know anything can happen. I'm not sure I believe that the running game's just going to figure it out.
I mean, Jonathan Gannon made it a point this week to say we got to run the football better. They've at least internally talked about or thought about changes up front, but they're not there yet. I'm sure they challenged people in more ways than one up front on that offensive line. I thought the O-line was better last week than in week one. Kyler Murray was only sacked once as opposed to 5 in New Orleans. I also think Espo, and we're a month removed from preseason, so I apologize. They didn't hit anybody. They took forever to get going. It was, in my opinion, it was a mistake. And then you look at the two teams they played, Carolina and New Orleans. They were hitting people the entirety of the preseason because they had to, because those teams are desperate, right? So I think you saw improvements up front defensively from week 1 to week 2 and on the offensive line. But I'm with you. Like I think this is a game where you turn Kyler Murray loose and you let him do whatever he wants. You let him run around. You let him be a playmaker. Because again, like I think you can win this game with 21 points. I don't think you're going to have to score 30, but I don't think the Cardinals passing game right now is in a position where it's like, hey, Kyler, throw the ball 40 times. Like I have not seen that happen in 3 years with Drew Petizing. I at least know that in certain instances, the Cardinals' bread and butter is running the football. So I'm only telling you what I believe they will try to do. It's not what I would do. I'm exhausted by hoping that we're going to see robust passing numbers every Sunday, and we're disappointed by that. So, but I do think the Cardinals are going to win this game.
Yeah, I'm just a little concerned if you turn Kyler loose, that's when he goes into that jazz musician or Houdini mode, that's when he tends to make some of those passing mistakes, because I think he starts to feel invincible. He gets in that Superman mode. You take more chances, and we saw how that can bite you in the ass. But what is your I know you do this on the show, but are we picking a win? I want to ask for score.
Yeah.
But you're picking a win here?
I am. It's going to be close. It's going to be a game you're going to have to sweat. No pun intended. I do think the Cardinals will play up to their competition. I do think that the first 2 weeks are a byproduct of sleepwalking against two bad teams that don't know they're bad yet. The Cardinals were dominating Carolina last week, and then they screwed around in the fourth quarter. I honestly believe this week, division rival, you want to be, it's Mac Jones. I mean, I think a big thing is like, so we can't be sitting here Monday and Kyler Murray loses to Mac Jones. Like if you mentioned that stat, starting 3-0, 74.5% making the postseason. Cardinals schedule early on this year, this is where they have to stack up some W's, although now, like late in the year at Cincy, those games are a little bit more winnable. They just, all they care about, and rightfully so, is putting the W in the win column, and I think they keep that going this weekend in Santa Clara.
Is your favorite tight end back, Tip Ryman?
He is. He back fully practiced this week. I expect him to play. Offense has no excuse. They have all their players, all the players that they want to have. They're available. And this Niner team, come on. I love Robert Saleh. He's a great coordinator. They don't have great players. Assert your will on offense in whatever way you need to do that.
He is Johnny Venerable. Follow him at Johnny Venerable. Watch him at 4:30 on PHNX Cardinals and join him out at Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass on Sunday for Cardinals at 49ers. Johnny, always a pleasure.
See you, fellas.
Throw that W up in the chat if you are a Supporters Club member, if you think the Cardinals are going to get the win. That is another Southwest bias in the book. Another week over. A big shout out to the mustache behind the Mac. Thank you for making the trip down the hill today from Flagstaff. You can follow him at Shane Deef. You can follow the show at PHNX_sports, and you can follow me at Espo. And remember, get that running game straight. Otherwise, Drew Petizing, that seat's going to get hot, even though it's going to be fall. Ahoy, hoy.
We all silly like the mayor.